Hello, and thank you for joining me for another Cottone Help My Excel. My name is Sean-Paul Cottone, and I'll be your guide. For this video, we'll be going over how to make a pivot table, go over the different fields for a pivot table, and I'm going to be giving an example on how easy it is to display information for end users. If you'd like to follow along, feel free to download the Excel sheet and PDF file, both of which are available at the Cottone Help My Excel website, the link to which can be found down below. Taking a little background information into our example for this week, we are the owners of a dance studio, and we are trying to develop a static budget for next year. We have data from last year's sales. This information has dates, dance levels, employee names, number of lessons taught, amounts charged, and total revenue earned. Our end goal is to use pivot tables to provide us with revenue estimation for this coming year. Will be placed within this year's revenue sheet. Quick use 1. What is a pivot table and how do you make it? Our goals for this section are to understand what a pivot table can do and to learn how to form one. A pivot table is a data summarization tool that helps to provide visualization for key figures and aids in decision making. By using a pivot table in combination with pivot charts, you can provide even more defined results. A pivot table simplifies projects when dealing with large and complex data sets. To make a pivot table, we start by having the data that will be used open and selected. Select the Insert tab, go to Tables, and click the Pivot Table button. Under the Create Pivot Table pop-up menu, select the table or range. This should be auto-highlighted. If you have cells within your data range, the Excel program should also auto-highlight the whole range of data. If not, we're going to go ahead and click this button, and then you can select the whole of your data that needs to be within the pivot table. Click it again when you have all of your data selected. Make sure the New Worksheet button is also selected, and click OK. Your screen should now look something like this. You should view your pivot table field list. From here, you'll be able to edit and produce your pivot table. Quick use 2, filter options and editing display data. Our goals for this section are to learn the 4 data filter options and their uses, as well as to edit display data to better reach your end users. There are 4 filter options within the pivot table field list: report filter, column labels, row labels, and value. The best way to explain each filter option is with an example. To select fields for each filter, you can simply click and drag the required field to the desired section, or simply check or uncheck the required box and move and manipulate the items with your mouse, like so. Let's start with the month within the report filter, style in the column, level in the row, and the sum of total revenue in the value section. With this pivot table, we can now view the revenue for each level, style, and total for each level within the year. With our filter tabs, the information can be viewed and edited. For example, we can change the month to individual months such as May, show only beginning level programs under salsa and tango style. Each field can be moved to different filter options depending on the information you want to display and what your end goal is. For this reason, pivot tables are extremely useful tools. Quick use 3, practical example. Our goals for this section is to produce an estimated revenue amount for our static budget using pivot tables. This example has 2 facts that will affect our estimation for the next year. Fact 1. We know we're going to be losing 3 employees, Adams, Howard, and Morgan. They're all going to be leaving at the start of next year, and we will not be replacing them with any other employees. Fact 2. We know that there should be an industry average growth of around 2.5% revenue for the coming year. Our goal is to use the pivot table to provide us with revenue estimation for each month within the coming year. Let's start with which fields we'll be needing. We're going to need the revenue in the total amount. So, the total revenue section within the value filter is probably a good choice. Some of our employees will be leaving, so we should include our employees and place them within the report filter section. We're going to need to look up all the different months and see the revenue for the different months, so the months should go in the column section. Okay, so now we have all of our different filters within the different sections. Let's go ahead and filter down some of our employees. Let's go to the employee filter button. Go ahead and click it there. And let's unselect Adams, Howard, and Morgan. Okay, now it looks like we've got a reasonable estimation for next year. Let's go ahead and put it inside our pre-made revenue prediction page. So let's go ahead and press Control C for the entire information. Now go ahead and select this year's revenue page and press Control V in cell B3. And now our pre-existing formula in B3 will show us a 1.025% increase to show the estimated industry growth without 3 employees. So in closing, we learned a few things about pivot tables today. We learned what a pivot table is, how to form a pivot table, the 4 data filter options that are used, how to edit display data, the use of a practical example. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have any concerns, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.